I am going to try to keep this short and simple. I know it's not fancy looking, the background, but I don't care because this took me way longer than I was expecting. The first city that I wanted to talk about in Bergen County is Paramus, because I think we can all agree that Paramus is a pretty good indication of where the market is going. So let's take a look. I'm just messing with you guys. I know the text is a little bit hard, but I'm going to read it off the screen and then hopefully you guys just take my word for it. So median prices in Paramus have actually dropped in the month of June this year compared to last year, about 7.3%. While interestingly enough, the percent of list price received, meaning how much more you're going to get over the asking price this month, was actually up 3.2%. Now, if you look at the other factor up there that I have highlighted, it's that the number of new listings hitting the market in June is actually down about 21.9% where it was last year. And even on the year to date, it's down 4.1%. Generally, when I'm looking at these numbers, I'm looking at month to date versus year to date. If the month to date is showing a more drastic change than the year to date, then that means all of these changes are happening more presently rather than collectively. Now let's talk about my beloved Park Ridge. Now Park Ridge has actually seen such a great increase in prices even as we enter 2023. But in the month of June, you can actually see that things are starting to shift. Looking at the median sale prices, again, month to date versus year to date, you're going to notice that in the month of June, median prices are down 4.1%, whereas on the year to date, it's actually up 3%. Well, what does that mean? Like I mentioned earlier, Park Ridge experienced a great market going into 2023. It's one of the reasons why the year-to-date is still continuing to stay strong and in the positive, but the month of June is actually showing that things are starting to soften up just a tad. Even if the percent of list price received is 7%, that's sort of meaningless if the prices are coming down. But of course, not every city was built the same, and Ridgewood is probably one of the exceptions that I'm seeing now. Ridgewood actually had a fantastic month of June, where median prices are up 15.2%, and the percent of list price received is still over the asking price, so about 4.4%. But if you were to take a closer look at the year-to-date of Ridgewood, especially in median sale prices, they're actually down just close to 1%, which means that they have some catching up to do. It doesn't actually mean that their market is much better. It just means that their market is starting to pick up now, whereas other areas are not experiencing the same thing. And now finally, let's take a look at the entire county as a whole. So new listings in the month of June is actually down 35%. And on the year to date, they're actually shy about 1,600 properties or new listings hitting the market where they were last year. And this is the entire county. Median prices for the month of June are actually up about 1.4%, which is nothing crazy. It's about an increase of about $10,000. And on the year to date, they're up $20,000 or 3.1%. But what does this all mean? Now, in my opinion, it means that the market is actually starting to soften up a bit. Now, I know some agents are going to say, that's not true. I'm seeing properties go over the asking price, and that is certainly true. But the list prices are actually lower than they were a year ago. So although people are still paying over the asking price for certain properties, the list price is actually lower than it was a year ago.